Hey team, it's Ben here. I wanted to record this video training to help you with something called the reversal of desire tool. Now, this isn't just a tool that will help you in your life. It's a way of thinking. It's a way of being in the world where you are pursuing something that you're often running away from. Now, if you think about this in your life, in your work, in your relationships, some of the major struggles that you've probably have or have had is because you've been avoiding pain. Let's slow down to this for a second. You may have struggled in your relationship because you've avoided the pain of a hard conversation, the conflict. It feels uncomfortable. Even the thought of it feels uncomfortable, let alone walking into it. Maybe it's the gym and it's your weight that you struggle with most because the thought of going on a diet is painful. Oh, all that deprivation. Or it could be picking up the phone and calling that prospect who, in the moment, you know that you, quote unquote, should do that painful thing, yet you keep avoiding it. And the problem is that you are rewarded for that inaction, that lack of action in that moment is rewarded with the avoidance of pain. Now, when I talk about pain, it's not the same pain of a threat of a fight or the threat of actual violence or being cut or hurt. It's ego pain. It's a real pervasive pain that we often move away from. But it really does inhibit our life. It contracts our life. And when we learn to, what I would say, reframe pain and move towards pain, see pain as a tool that guides our life and grows our life changes forever. Now, this is heavily based on the work by a guy called Phil Stutz. Now, Phil Stutz is a great psychotherapist in Hollywood. Has worked with some of the best people in the world in terms of high performers, film stars, movie stars. And why is this important? Because at every level, even at the highest level, we still do this inherent thing of avoiding pain and moving towards comfort. And in any given moment, we're making one of two choices, growth or comfort. And when we continually make the growth-based decision, our life changes forever. However, when we constantly make the comfortable decision, we turn around one day and we're in what's called psychopathology. Anxiety, depression, even suicidal ideation. We're like, how do we get here? We kept on choosing the comfortable choice, which didn't lead to comfort. It led to struggle, right? So what we want to do is we want to constantly reframe to be moving forwards into discomfort, like working out what on the daily is our uncomfortable decision, okay? And if you think about this in terms of pain being the route for growth, pain is the route to growth. Pain is safe. Walking into a conversation that's hard is safe. Changing your body and doing something different is safe. And for me, this was a big thing because pain was often associated with so much discomfort, so much breaking down, so much dissipation of family, all these uncomfortable things that happened in my life as a child. But as an adult, when I've walked into pain, when I've pushed myself beyond the point I thought was comfortable, I've always been rewarded. Now think about this in your adult life. When you've pushed past the things that you've believed to be comfortable and easy, you've been rewarded. Now, easy is an interesting word there as well, because actually when you learn to reframe pain and you start making steps towards it, this does get easier over time as well. You get faster at doing it, you become way more courageous, and your life really does begin to change. Now, there's a level of thinking as a tool, and that's coming as well. So the thinking is, I'm going to start working out and slowing down to the things in my life that I know may be painful. Now, as you're watching this video, you can feel free to pause it and stop and take a beat and work out, like, what is the things that I'm avoiding right now? What's the painful things that I'm not doing? I want to list out a few, and what I'm going to invite you to do is shrink the time between watching this video and going and taking the action, event action, okay? Because the event action is the time between the insight and the time you take action is directly proportional to the likelihood that it'll happen. I'll say that again. The time between the insight, when you've realized this, and the action that you take is directly proportional to the likelihood that it's going to happen. So if you leave this until tomorrow, if you put off into the future, the likelihood of you watching this video and getting value from it is going to diminish. So what we want to do is we want to start seeing pain as a route for growth. And the way I would actually prehab this, okay, is actually using the tool itself, which I'm going to teach you, but it came from the thinking from one of my clients, Luke. Now, Luke and I have worked together for about 2 years. He's very somatic. He loves things to be experiential and not just thinky. Is that he wanted to create this tool that he could use every day as almost like a prehab exercise. And prehab is where we condition our mind, we condition our thinking before the action. So when we're ready, it's a little bit like training. So when we actually have to do the thing, it happens way easier and faster. So every single morning, he'd get in the shower, he'd have his normal 1, 2, 5, 10 minute shower. I don't know how long it lasted. Of nice hot warm water, wash himself, and then at the end of the shower, he would step out. And he'd turn the shower as cold as it would go, like freezing cold. And he'd observe the water flowing down, and he would see that cold water, that inevitable pain he was going to be stepping into, as the thing that he was avoiding in his life. That thing that he was avoiding doing, he was going to step into it. And he would step into the water, and he'd feel that experience of the cold water hitting his head, his body, back of his neck, and it'd be really painful. And he would remind himself that the pain was good. It was something that he wanted. It was going to help him move forward in his life. So it was a hard conversation, if it was doing his financials, if it was maybe sitting down and doing some deep work. It's like, I love pain. Pain sets me free. And he'd just stay there for 20 seconds. He'd turn around and he'd step out into a power pose. So flinging his arms back, chest up. And he would just remind himself that conditioning himself into pain every single day was a good thing. Now, this is the tool in its actual, that is exactly how to do the tool, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the tool, okay? And what I'm going to invite you to do is just push the big old believe button. Now, if you're like me, I'm left brain logic led. I'm a logical guy. I've got massively, huge science background, massively data driven. So when I first got introduced to the tools, they're very, very creative, wonky, right brain thinking. Yet they made a lot of sense. And I use these tools when it comes to making decisions that are difficult, hard, where I feel like I'm going to move away from making that decision. And since I've learned to turn towards my pain, my life has grown. Okay, so the first part of the tool is face the pain. So focus on the pain you're avoiding, and I want you to see it appear in front of you like a big cloud. I say black cloud, like a dark cloud. I can see that pain. So for example, I've got a hard conversation with a staff member, and you silently scream in your mind's eye, you silently scream at that cloud, bring it on, because you secretly demand that pain because it has great value. So I bring it on. And then the second step of the tool is you move towards the pain. So you silently scream in your mind's eye, I love pain. And as you keep moving forwards, now the way I envisage this is like running towards the cloud, my hand outstretched saying, I love pain, bring it on. And I can see myself sprinting towards the pain. And you feel the pain. So you cross into that threshold of the pain, you feel it, you can feel that discomfort. Oh my God, this is going to be painful. Okay? Now, as I'm explaining this, it might feel like it's going to take a long time. I can do this in around about 5 to 10 seconds in my thoughts now. Okay, so it's all going on quietly, it's all going on silently. I'll run through it again. So face the pain, move towards the pain, and then finally freedom, the final step. You feel the cloud spit you out, and you silently say inwards, pain sets me free. And you see yourself just moving up and forwards into your life. And you can see yourself almost propelled by a jet of pure bright light. So let me just walk through that again. Okay, so you face the pain. You say, bring it on. You move towards the pain. Say, I love pain. Pain sets me free. And then once you've done that, you see yourself being propelled out into your life. And that is where your life begins to change. Now, what's actually going on when you do this? So you face the pain, you move towards the pain, and you get spat out by the pain. What are you doing there? You're reframing the way that you see pain, but you're also moving yourself into what's called the force of forward motion. And this is where you start to take relentless action. Okay, so relentless forward motion connects you to a higher force. Now, a higher force is something that exists in life. And the way that you'll notice this is when you're in flow, you're in motion, you just seem to move through problems and challenges just so easily because you've got momentum. And I was coaching a client the other day, and we're talking about this idea of overwhelm. Now, overwhelm is just feedback from the brain saying you've lost your momentum. So we need to get back into forward motion. So when you are connected to this higher force of forward momentum, you begin to just go at things with a bit more speed. So maybe obstacles that you found maybe quite challenging before, you just seem to break through them with way more ease and way more force. And seemingly large challenges in the past seem to shrink. Now this tool and this thinking has helped me change my life and the life of so many clients. And if you've watched this video, you'll know there's something that you've been avoiding doing. And I'm going to invite you to go and do that rep right now. Go and take that first step. Now, the final part of this isn't a tool that you use once and then you're done forever. It's not something that you're never going to be exonerated from pain, uncertainty, and constant work every single day. And like the myth of Sisyphus, just because he's rolling the boulder up every single day, it doesn't mean it's futile. It doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile, because with every time he rolls the boulder up the hill, he gets stronger. And that's what happens every single day in our lives. We're rolling the boulder up the hill only for it to roll back down and start in the following day at day zero. And once I realized that every single day I wake up, it's day zero, and I'm back to rolling the boulder up the hill again, but I'm getting stronger every single day, that is so rewarding in itself. Because what I thought is that if I got to this point where I'm super strong, I'd never have to roll the boulder up the hill again. And that's not going to happen, because the three constants in life: pain, uncertainty, and constant work. And that's why you need tools like this. Thanks for watching the video. Go and use the tool and let me know how you get on with using it. And then also, as you start using it, notice how you start to move through challenges and things that may have held you back in the past way quicker.